Hello and welcome to Tuesday. Now, I finally decided to do something. I talked about this only a couple days ago, but I found myself in a position just sitting at my desk thinking that I wanted to play a game. Now, we had a couple options. First thing that's been eating away at me has been the Pokemon thing that I've been doing, trying to get a living dex across all games. For those who don't know, a living dex is essentially having one of every single Pokemon in every single game. Well, in one of every single Pokemon. Doesn't matter what game, but I want it in every single game. I've accomplished that in Yellow, Crystal, Fire Red, Emerald, and by extension the other Gen 3 games. Sort of Platinum, sort of Heart Gold, sort of Gen 5. So where do we go from there? Well, obviously the next step is Gen 6. However, my Gen 6 save is fully intact, I believe. And that's cool. Everything from Gen 5 and below was just in shambles, so I figured, well, I don't need to do anything with Gen 6. Except that's not entirely true. If you remember, last year around April, May, or March, April, around that time, my copy of Omega Ruby just died for whatever reason. Would not load at all. Nothing worked. So my save is gone there. It sucks, but such is life. So, I can replay one of those games. I really want to play X and Omega Ruby, but it shouldn't take too long, but there's another game that I've been thinking of. And I even talked about this a couple of days ago. Neo, The World Ends With You. So, I did what any rational person would do. In one of the Discord chats I'm in, I started a poll for an hour. This is around 6 p.m. And I said, which game do I play? Do I play Pokemon X, or do I play Neo, The World Ends With You? So after only a couple of minutes, there were 5 votes on it, and I decided to click view results just to see what the preliminary opinion was. And it was 5 in favor of Pokemon X and 0 in favor of Neo, The World Ends With You. So that kind of cemented my decision. I started playing Neo, The World Ends With You. I played for like 6 hours, and oh man, that's a fun game. It's interesting. If you're not familiar with The World Ends With You, the original, it's something else. It is a cult classic on the DS, and it got ported to iOS, Android, and it's also on Switch. The original, it's a cult classic for a reason. You play as a boy named Neku Sakuraba, who finds himself in, Shibuya, Japan, which is where the game takes place. This one obviously taking place same location. But he is trapped in a game known as, if we look on the back here, it says the Reaper's Irrational Game. So we're trapped in this game, and our goal is to just escape it. And the game is full of twists and turns, and the story is wild, and it just goes crazy places, and it is nuts. It's very fun. The combat is one of the things that people praised a lot. Now, it was originally a DS game, meaning you have 2 screens. So the bottom screen, the touch screen, is where you control Neku, and then the top screen is where you control your partner character. And your partner character, you have to do a variety of inputs with the D-pad, meaning you can press up, down, left, or right, and those will match up with the partner's actions. And depending on how well you perform those, you will deal X amount of damage to the enemies. On the bottom screen, you play with a so the main combat system revolves around pins. Pins as in, like, you know, the things that you like attach to your clothes, those but circular. You collect those and you can use their quote unquote powers. So initially you start off with, in this game you start off with a slash attack and a energy burst attack. Quickly enough you get like a flame attack and whatnot, and then you just get more and more pins with more and more different powers. It's very unique, it's very fun, requiring you to look at both screens to just try and nail the combat. So sick. And once you perfect it, you can feel amazing at the game. The difficulty system scales so that you can lower your combat level, which is essentially like reducing the amount of health you have. And in exchange, you can get higher drop rates from enemies. So in the menu, you can see, oh, this enemy only has a drop rate of maybe like 1 to 5% or something like that. By reducing your HP, you can multiply that by X amount. Same applies here. You can drop. So I am pretty well versed in this game. I dropped my level by 10, so I have a 10 times multiplier. But then you can also chain encounters together, and that stacks with the multiplier. So at the max currently you can do 5 in the base game. I think you can unlock it after you get a power up or whatever. But that means I have 50 times the drop rate for items that don't even need it. But it's just like, if it's there, it's like, it doesn't affect me in any way, so I just get all the incredibly rare and powerful items off the bat because the game lets you do that. It's just, levels means nothing. The only way that you increase your stats is by consuming food, which is very funny. That increases your HP, defense, attack, and there's another one called style, which is just allows you to wear certain items, I guess. It's a bunch of really cool, unique systems all working together. And this game, again, 2D, the DS game was in 2D, but this one is in 3D, so trying to move that into 3D space, it kind of works. And it's just a lot of button mashing, you know. The main 4 buttons that you press are square, triangle, L1, and R1, and those are assigned to each pin. And then depending on the amount of party members you can have, you can assign each button to a certain party member. So the square and triangle are your mashing buttons, while L1 and R1 are charging. And you can just use that to get all sorts of little combos going. I like to max out the levels of pins. They each have independent levels, and they go up pretty quickly. After only a couple encounters, you might have a max level pin. But obviously they scale differently. Some evolve and become something else. Either way, it's nice to have like a full collection. Everything you do is logged in the game, so everything that you buy, everything that you can buy clothes to increase your attack, defense, or whatever, get whatever ability. It logs the food that you eat. The food obviously increases stats, as I said before, but each restaurant in the game has different food options, so you need to eat every specific one. And then there's like a social link menu where depending on your affinity which each shop owner, which increases by either buying items from the store or wearing certain items of clothing or whatnot, all of that will allow you to go to this affinity menu, which allows you to get even more power-ups. It's how I discovered that you can extend chain encounters from 5 to however many allows you. I don't have the power up yet. It also gives you a difficulty option, so typically play the game on normal, but you can reduce the difficulty through that menu by unlocking the power up, and then just change the difficulty at any time in the game. So currently I'm playing on hard, which allows you to get more XP, more drops. With the multiplier, it goes nuts. So I don't need to worry about money at all. It's just defeating every enemies are called noise, so defeating all the noise in the area, and then just getting stupid amounts of money. It's so fun. After all of that, then, you know, as the battles progress, your food meter goes down because there's a food meter that, you know, once you eat food, you need to get hungry again. So in the Infinity menu again, you can get exclusive clothes from stores, you can get exclusive foods from stores, and all of that gets logged in your collection. So there's a lot of things to do, and I'm on day 4, maybe 5, 4 or 5, I think 4, and it's going pretty well. This is exactly what you kind of expect for a sequel, and there's so many mysteries to unravel if you're fans of the original. And I'm pretty sure that you can play this one without even having to worry about the original. But for fans of the first game, I definitely think that if you have not played or picked this up, please do. I don't think that we'll ever get a third entry in the series, especially considering how it's been such a long time since the first one. And then, you know, I bought it on release, so sales numbers went up. I think I own it. Yeah, I own it for PS4 and Switch. So numbers went up for me, but you know, play count did not go up, I guess, up until just now. But hopefully, there is enough interest, and Square is one of those companies that just does wild things, and they're like, yes, this game sold millions and millions of copies. It undersold, and that's, you know, it's crazy. Game companies are crazy, but, you know, Square Enix makes a lot of cult classics. A lot of people are very passionate about their games, you know. They have Dragon Quest, they have Kingdom Hearts, they have Final Fantasy, they have Neo The World Ends With You, they have a ton of other games. And, you know, they're very beloved. With that said, go play Neo TWEWY. It's a very, very fun game. It's a very lose yourself in it game. It's very min-maxy, right? With the food mechanic, it's just like, oh, this food raises this person's stats by this and this much. There's also a weird thing of, you know, if the person is in the mood to eat a certain food, their icon at the top or their sprite will be different, and there's a chance that a bonus stat might increase, which is very insignificant in the grand scheme of things. So you just like, it's weird. It's like min-maxing and everything, trying to get as much money as you can to buy all the items, trying to level everything up. It's a very good game, and it's a very me game, and I can't believe I waited. This is copyright 2021. So 4 years, probably like closer to 3.5 or something. I can't believe I waited so long. But, you know, it's a wonderful game, and can't wait to get back into it, but I gotta go to bed. Okay, that's about it for today. Thank you all for watching. I hope to see you tomorrow. And until then,